let's talk about the Lions and they facing expectations. I mean, I seen people, a dog that was shooting the basketball picked them to win the Super Bowl. I think SI had them making it pretty far. I seen another publication picking them to win the Super Bowl. And we've talked about this before, about them dealing with expectations and how will they deal with expectations. Even heard people say that they may expect a letdown year. That the division has got tougher. It sure has, and I'm going to basically speak on, a preview show. I'll get to it obviously before the first game of the season start. I'll get there, but yeah, I feel that excuse me. There is some pressure. I think the division's got better. I mean, obviously JJ McCarthy is out of there, and that's gonna hurt them. I don't even know the top players coming out next year to be real, but that's gonna hurt them. We all know it. Chicago on paper, they got one of the greatest quarterbacks we ever seen. Come out of college in Caleb Williams, so that'd be something else to look at. They got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. I think he's the best number 2 receiver in the league, in my opinion. I think some teams got 2 number 1s, like T and Jamar. I think that's 2 number 1, but he's like the best number 2 receiver in the league. So, Romeo Dozier, he was really good in college. Receiver. I mean, defense coming along. They traded for Montez Sweat. I wanted the Lions to draft him coming out of college. I like this film a lot, his athletic ability. But, the Packers are the Packers. They got a lot of good young receivers, got a young, good, cool, great quarterback. I mean, he's fantastic. Good defense. They've been drafting defense in the first round for the last 25 years. So, so it's going to be a lot of expectations. The Lions are built through the trenches on out. And I like that about them. And they have questions. They was rated the worst receiving corps in the NFC North. It may have the worst receiving corps in the NFC. And let's just call it what it is. It's St. Brown. We just talking about receivers and really nothing else because J-Mo really ain't produced. You banking on J-Mo producing, but he really hasn't produced how people wanted him to produce. So really, they don't really have a lot. Even with Josh Reynolds, they didn't have a lot of reliability. So, but when you can run the ball the way you run your ball, you got multiple tight ends that can catch it and receive it. You got multiple backs can catch it and receive it. You find other ways to make do. Okay, but I think they're mentally built to handle the pressure. I think Dan Campbell's got the right mindset, and I think one of the things that make them mentally tough is the simple fact that when they started off that second season, they had some momentum coming off their first season, getting a win and all that. When they came off that second season, they started off with 1-6, and they should have easily probably won every one of those games. Probably not named the New England game if that was included. I forget that first game they played. I think they won the first game. I could be wrong. But that Minnesota game is what the straw that broke the camel's back, the camel's hump. That was the game that kind of was like, damn, that was debilitating. They lost a lot of guys injured. Dallas was another game they should have won. Even though they came in that game with a lot of injuries, Jamal Williams had never fumbled in his career. He fumbles on the goal line when they could have, got the go-ahead score. So it's always some fishy shit happening in Dallas. But I think, Dan Campbell, when a lot of people was calling for him to be fired, I think it was 1-6, and I was saying, like, who y'all gonna get? Why fire the man? He ain't lost the locker room, and them guys still believed in him. Easily, he could have lost that locker room. And the reason they started off that poor that year, remember DeAndre Swift got injured. People forget that. DJ Shark went down. A bunch of guys went down. I think St. Brown ended up going down. They had a bunch of injuries coming in. Pascal, Levon Nazorki, obviously. A lot of guys was injured. And I predicted that they would have a slow start because of the injuries. When they got healthy, and that's when they started winning. But he could have easily lost that locker room. He kept the locker room intact. They continued to follow his lead. So that showed me right then and there, dealing with the expectations in the primetime games and the target on their back. I felt Hard Knocks, and I felt how they ended the 2019 22 season put a target on their back. So they was playing with expectations all last season. You know, they was the pick of they was the consensus pick almost of the NFC North. You know, now proving that you're going to be a perennial power year in and year out. You know, Baltimore Lamar, when Joe is healthy, Patrick Mahomes, and one of the better said that. A pro better said that he felt like the Detroit Lions was going to fall off this year because they didn't have a top 10 quarterback, and it's hard year in and year out to be good when you don't have a top 10 quarterback. And I'm just looking like, what's 10 quarterbacks better than Jared Goff? You know, say what you want to say about Kirk Cousins. Every year, Minnesota had an opportunity to make the playoffs when Kirk Cousins was healthy. And a lot of people look at Kirk Cousins as a top 15 quarterback. You know? So I don't know what else Jared Goff got to do. I guess he got to win it. Because in that championship, they sure didn't lose it. In the NFC Championship, they didn't lose it because of him. I mean, he put the ball where it needs to be at. You know, he had a misthrow to Josh Reynolds that he threw it at his ankles, but anytime he got to move his feet, that's what he should be working on this year, is moving his feet. You know, moving his feet and on the run. But I think they built the deal with this. You know, I think in the back of everybody's mind, including the most hardcore, the most casual Lion fan, or the most optimistic Lion fan, is SOL. They got a long way to go to this you know, to get rid of the SOL stigma. They got a long way to go. They got a long way to go to get rid of that stigma. So I think that's part of their motivation. Yeah, I feel like that's part of their motivation to dispel that. I think, you know, also they coaches build different. You know, I like what he was saying. We got to hit the reset button. Last year was last year. You know, last year was last year. You know, I like that. I don't know how I always get behind these big ass trucks. But yeah, I think they'll deal with it just fine if they healthy. You know, and I think dealing with the expectations and actually winning football games is different. You know, mentally dealing with it, but now winning football games, there are going to be some uphill battles for them offensively. They don't bring in any additional help receiving wise. You know, they really going to rely on getting the ball to their backs and tight ends is going to be their saving grace this year. Now that they know, guess what? Is, you know, we're going to make, we y'all some bonus talk. We're going to make Jameson Williams beat us. That's what they're going to tell y'all. They're going to tell the Lions, we're going to make your receiving core beat us. We're going to take away Sam Laporta. We're going to take away St. Brown. And now we're going to make your receiving core beat us. And that's what they're going to tell the Detroit Lions. I'm telling you. But the good thing about St. Brown, he can move everywhere. So it's going to be hard to know where he line up at. And if they don't bring any additional receiving help, you're going to see a lot more St. Brown on the outside trying to make plays. So check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button, hit the bell icon button, hit all notifications. Increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop a video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJGood313, Venmo CJGood313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Appreciate y'all for supporting the channel.